All right, what up, people? It's your boy Chig from Guna Eagle Eye, coming to you again with a brand new video. This time, it's Eagle Eye, the transfer rumour show where I talk to you about rumours and news surrounding the Arsenal. First and foremost, apologies for this being so late. It wasn't supposed to be a midnight stream. It was actually supposed to be a 7 o'clock stream, and just had all kinds of things that got in the way. So apologies for that. First and foremost, please do hit that like button for me. It really does help the show get noticed, especially when I'm on this late. So make sure you do hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. I promise you, I don't normally go on this live, so it will be a suitable time moving forward. And yeah, those are the two things that mainly help the show. And just be active, be live, no matter how few people are on live tonight, make sure you do the most to bang the drum so that other people notice the show. All right, let's talk about some stories today. I've obviously I highlighted 4 stories I was going to always talk about during this show today. And then obviously since then, the Rob Holding news broke. And as did, I say news broke, rumours broke, as did the Aston Villa Martinez rumours broke. So I'll address those separately, but I'm going to talk about the main story, which is Mr. Thomas Partey. So Mr. Thomas Partey, let me find an appropriate picture for him. Ah, yes, this young man. There you go. There you go. Well, this beast of a player has been linked with Arsenal for about 4 months now. Pretty much since April solid, we've been hearing rumours that he's been looking for an Arsenal move. And actually, if you want to go really deeper than that, this was the man that Emery wanted to move for last year. In fact, as rumours go, theoretically, this Thomas Partey story has been a 2-year story in the making. Because again, if rumours are to be believed, when Emery was looking for a defensive midfielder, before he got Torreira, he asked for Thomas Partey. Well, actually, that's a lie, because he asked for Nzonzi first. Then when he couldn't get Nzonzi, he asked for Partey. Both were denied. Last year, that move apparently came very, very close. And then for whatever reason, it didn't happen, didn't materialize. And I remember at the time, people were like saying, yeah, why would Thomas Partey want to jack Atletico Madrid in for us? And I did speculate at the time that African players, much like French players in some ways, still hold Arsenal in very, very high regard. So it wouldn't be too outrageous if he wanted to move to Arsenal. And people are still like, yeah, but all right, then whatever, chick. And I've been following the story for months and months and months. And now today we've got the clearest indication that this boy has his heart set on Arsenal. Well, the day started off with the headline, Thomas Partey has rejected the latest contract offer from Atletico Madrid. Now, from what I understand, since then, apparently this contract offer was extended last week. Now, if you remember on this channel, a couple of times I've reported on the fact that Atletico Madrid have been interested in Marco Roca. Well, that interest has only been intensified since Thomas Partey has rejected the latest offer. They weren't going to firm their interest until the response of that offer. When that offer was flat out rejected, apparently the offer was set to be in the region of about £100,000 a week. When that offer was rejected, they have now intensified their interest in Marco Roca. Ironically, a guy that we've also been linked with in the very recent past. 23 years old from Espanyol. Espanyol were relegated last year. Didn't have the best of seasons last year himself, but he is someone that is held very high in very high regard in Spain. They see him as almost a better version of Granit Xhaka, if you like. And if you see his highlight reels, you can understand. Don't get me started on Granit Xhaka, please. This will not be a Granit Xhaka love fest. I will say that. But enough said on that one. But in terms of Marco Rocco, that is the man that they have identified. I mean, Atletico Madrid were looking at people like Alan at one point, but then Alan was he had his heart set on a Premier League move, and obviously he was in negotiations at the time with Everton. And now it seems as though Partey has basically more or less come out and said, come and get me. Because not only has he rejected the latest contract offer, social media activity is a very telling thing these days. As much as people laugh at it, you can always tell what a player is thinking by what they do on social media. So starting with Thomas Partey himself, he's liked a couple of posts talking about, I think there was an Arsenal fan that said something along the lines of Thomas Partey will be a star. And somebody else came in and said, what are you talking about? Thomas Partey already is a star. I would love him at Arsenal. And he liked that post. Which was kind of like, great, good start. And then his brother apparently has been on Instagram or something like that. And there was an Instagram thread going about, is Thomas Partey the answer to Arsenal defensive problems? A post which he liked. So it's pretty flipping clear to me the boy wants to come to Arsenal. But will Arsenal come to the boy? That is the question. Supposedly, Arsenal have this grand plan to make a final move for Thomas Partey. Obviously, hearing that he's rejected the latest contract offer, and also knowing that Atletico Madrid need money themselves in order to secure Marco Rocca, they feel like they're suddenly quietly confident that Arsenal that Atletico Madrid may be finally ready to settle on an offer lower than 50 million euros, which is obviously their asking price. Well, I say it's their asking price. It's the release clause. I must admit, this one is difficult to. I've had my rants over this. You guys know this. I had a rant as recently as 2 days ago about this, where I just didn't understand why it's like why we have to nickel and dime these situations. For me personally, I've always said to you this, right? People always ask me, Chig, who would you prefer, Aouar or Partey? Because I know you love both guys. In my personal opinion, I would have Partey. Because here's the thing with the Aouar situation. Don't get me wrong, I think Aouar is a fabulous player. And I think the older, 2-3 years' time, we're going to see a very complete player, no matter who he plays for, in Aouar. I have that much confidence in him. But we've been crying out for a player like Partey for how long? We've not... Yes, it's a bit worrying that all our goals are coming from one source, but we've not really struggled to create chances. Not really. Not in a huge way. We have struggled to keep clean sheets. We have struggled to win midfield battles. Even the great Granit Xhaka, as much praise as he's getting from certain sections of the Arsenal fan because he did one great inside-out pass. All right, fantastic. It was a fantastic pass. But quite frankly, what's he doing for Arsenal? I don't care what he's doing for other people. What's he doing for Arsenal? Right? As much as people want to praise Granit Xhaka has shown he's not the answer. Torreira has shown he's not the answer. El Nene has shown he's not the answer. Maybe, and I'm not even saying this is all we need, but maybe, just maybe, it gets us a little bit closer to where we need to be, challenging for titles, because that's the ultimate aim, surely. I've said this for a long time. And I said this to you as recently as the weekend. For me, the aim always has to be titles. Now, if as a byproduct of that, you finish in the top 4, fantabulous for the first season. Great, no problem. I can see the progress you're making. I can see the step forward you're taking. For me, the very first step to that road is Thomas Partey. Because defensively, we are useless. So no matter what players that we've been linked to, if someone asks you, Chig, what's the one player you can sign right now that would help us moving forward, that would help us in trying to achieve our goal of taking a step forward? It is this man. I've said that to you guys before. I have no problem saying it to you again. If we have any money left, it should be all going towards Thomas Partey. And don't tell me, oh, well, we don't have any money left. How the heck are Newcastle able to afford 20 million for a striker and they're still looking for more players? These clubs have money. Don't get it twisted. They have money. I don't necessarily think Arsenal's flush. Don't get me wrong. But they can do this deal. They can drag this deal over the line. And then if you then want to have some grand plan to have a fire sale to go and get Abour as well, so be it. But don't tell me you don't have 45 million somewhere in the bank that you can drag over the line and bring in an opposing central midfielder of the perfect age, with the perfect experience, with the perfect ability to slide in the team. Don't tell me you can't do that, bro. Don't tell me. Because at the end of the day, that's what we need. We need someone combative, someone that can pass the ball, short and long, someone that can tackle, someone that's strong, someone that won't be intimidating. Heck, dare I say it, will intimidate others. That is Thomas Partey in a nutshell. You guys know this. I want this player so badly in the team. So badly in the team. It's not every day I root for a Ghanaian either, so you know this is paining me. But what do you guys think? Again, let me know. Leave it in the comments below, or at the very least, go and get this brother, Sangara, who's a bigger version and a younger version of Thomas Partey. Not as good as passing, but still, he's imposing at least. But again, let me know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments below. All right. Let's talk about Umtiti, which is a name that my other half absolutely loves whenever I talk about this guy. Samuel Umtiti is a defender we've been linked with for a long, long time. Long time. I think he's now 26 years old, ravaged with injuries, but a player who is very, very good when he's fit, able, and playing. And prior to all his injury problems, he was a big feature of Barcelona's defense. But he's just been ravaged with these knee problems that don't seem to go away. And then over the last year or so, he's been fit. But Barcelona, quite honestly, have moved on. They've got defenders that they now rely on. And they don't feel like they have a place for Samuel Umtiti. He's on a lot of wages. I think he's on £150,000 a week, something like that. So they're desperate to get that off the books. So much so that they're willing to do a Mkhitaryan and actually cancel his contract just to get him off the books. So I put in my community post when I put this story up, I wondered, I know what you guys are going to tell me for 50 million, but for free, would you take Samuel Umtiti for free? See, I think for me, I might. Let's just say we play that three-man midfield, right? You got Gabriel on the far side. I think eventually, I don't think he's going to start there, but I think eventually you have Saliba on the right-hand side, Gabriel on the left-hand side, Samuel Umtiti in the middle. Who is fucking with that defense? Who is fucking with that defense? Who? No one is fucking with that defense. And then you put in a Thomas Partey in front of it? Shit. Who's breaking that down? No one is breaking that down. And the good thing about it is that even if you have Umtiti there, right? And you say, all right, I bought him in for free because I've got rid of Rob. Well, I'm going to say Rob Holding, but I'll come to that. Rob Holding, you got rid of, heck, in that situation, you got rid of Chambers, you got rid of Socrates, you got rid of Mustafi, and you're trying to quietly usher David Luiz out of the door. To me, that is the ideal situation. The ideal situation, especially if you can get him for free. All right, granted, you may have to pay him a certain amount of money to tempt him to Arsenal. But then the other thing that you could do is you could say to yourself, all right, well, I pay him a certain amount of money, but I might justify that to him. And I say to him, listen, you're on 150 at Barcelona. I don't really feel to encourage it, to increase it. The reason being is that, quite honestly, you don't have a great injury record. But that what I will do is if you play X amount of games, we will pay you X amount of money. And you can do that. You can offer him a 2 to 3 year contract, and you can base that on his contract. A very similar deal to what Bella is on right now. Do that. Do that. For me, he's a quality player, and he's too good to let someone else get for free. I get he's had his problems, but when you get past his problems, I think for me, he's a quality defender. And, you know, whether you pay 3 at the back, 2 at the back, if you want to play Gabriel with someone experienced, you couldn't get better than Samuel Umtiti. You couldn't get better. So, yeah, I think for me, thank you, brother. That really does help. Please listen to Diego there. Thank you. I think for me, it is a no-brainer. Go and get Samuel Umtiti. If he's free, go and get him. This to me is a no-brainer. Don't let someone like United go and get him, because I feel like that might actually happen. Excuse me. But what do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments below. And Archie, I'm not necessarily looking for world class, but don't tell me that Samuel Umtiti is not good. Stop it. Stop it. Anyway, what else was I going to talk about? Let me just go to the community. I'll talk about Rob Holding, I suppose. So Rob Holding apparently was all set. I did say to you guys yesterday that he was set to join Newcastle on loan. Obviously, Newcastle are desperate for defenders. Blimey, Lord knows that we got a load of them. You would have thought they picked the right one in Rob Holding, because I ain't going to lie. I don't know about you guys. I tapped out on Rob Holding some time ago. I know a lot of people have. And it seemed like a no-brainer. My only thing about Rob Holding was, why was he going on loan? We should be letting that punk ass go, like, on a permanent deal. But apparently that was not what Arsenal wanted. They wanted to let him go on loan. In fact, so much so Newcastle didn't even have an obligation to buy, which I found strange. Well, it now kind of makes sense, because Arsenal have done an Ainsley Maitland-Niles, and they've done a U-turn on Rob Holding. They actually want to keep him now at the club, which is just like, this is why people get mad at Arsenal, the way they do transfer business. It's just like you brought 2 people in, you've let go of no one since July the 27th, and all we're hearing is Arsenal need to sell in order to bring people in. So start selling. What are you talking about? At least letting Rob Holding go on loan, we would have had some sort of loan fee. Now we don't even have that. Oh, it's just every time we get so close to having someone out the door, there's some next level bullshit that spoils it. For example, we're still waiting to get rid of Socrates. Somehow, it annoys me so much that somehow we're losing 6 million on a Torreira deal. I don't get it, because Torino supposedly have also agreed a fee of 24 million euros for Lucas Torreira. How are we losing money on Lucas Torreira that still has 2 years left on his deal? How are we losing money on him? I was hoping to sell him for more, especially not lose money on him. And it's incredible. Some of the things sometimes that you hear Arsenal doing the way they do business sometimes. You're just left shaking your head. Meanwhile, you got the likes of, all right, maybe Chelsea are not the best example because they've had that transfer ban. They have more free cash than normal. But it's just like, all right, fine, forget Chelsea. You're looking at teams like Everton, not messing about. Newcastle, who supposedly have a worse owner than Stan Kroenke, doing something quicker than we're doing, securing signings quicker than we are, announcing signings quicker than we are. You know, it's starting to happen again. It's very frustrating as an Arsenal fan. Very, very frustrating. Meanwhile, you've got a guy that you know is going to improve your team, basically saying, yo, I don't know, I bumped my head, I am crazy, I want to leave a Champions League football club to come and join your ass. All you got to do is pay the release clause because you know deep down this guy's going to be a 60, 70 million pound player in normal circumstances. I don't know about that, but we'll give you 30 million for him. Arsenal. Shit. Anyway, so they don't want to let Rob Holding go. So I don't know what our supposed plan is to raise money. But Rob Holding supposedly is going to stay at the club. So I don't know if the plan is to sell Chambers. You know, Fulham have a retained interest in him, but we've not really heard anything about that. Chambers is obviously trying to get himself fit. He's not obviously going to make the start of the season, but I think he's going to be fit around November. You got Socrates. Lord knows what's happening with that. Socrates wants to be released on a free. I say fuck him. These motherfuckers need to at least pay 4 million for him. We're not asking for the world. Right? And then you got Mustafi. Has he even been linked to a club? It's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. But what do you guys think? Again, as always, leave it in the comments below. I do have a story about a left back that we're interested in. A left back called Nuno Mendes. Now, if you're wondering who, so am I, to be honest. But another product from the Sporting Lisbon team. It's supposed to be very, very good. Lots of high-level caliber teams are watching him. Us, AC Milan, Liverpool, United. In fact, there were reports that Liverpool and Milan had an offer of 15 million euros knocked back by Sporting for this guy. And that's according to a Portuguese outlet called O Jogo. And obviously Arsenal are looking for some cover for Kieran Tierney. They're desperate to get rid of Kolasinac. Kolasinac is desperate to go home. Another one that makes no sense. It's like, hold on. So let me get this straight. There's a team interested in Kolasinac. We need him to leave. He wants to go. And he's still on the Arsenal books. Makes a lot of sense. Arsenal, like I said. But yeah, so Arsenal obviously on the lookout for anyone that they can try and get. The only problem is this kid has very recently signed a new contract. He signed a new contract so that Sporting Lisbon, they're quick when it comes to these things. When they know that a kid has potential, they try and lock him down and put in a release clause. And his release clause is £40.1 million. Now, obviously, no one's going to pay £40.1 million. He's 18, but supposedly he has a lot of potential. I would love us to look into this. I think we need a left back. And if we could secure one for around 15, 16, 17 million, I don't think that would be too bad. Someone that he can learn from in Kieran Tierney, maybe when we switch to a 3 and Tierney goes into a centre-back position, maybe during injuries or whatever. This is a kid that can step in, play on that left-hand side. So I like the look of him. Don't know anything about him, but, you know, I like the look. He's quick. He's very athletic, very confident, just based on the things that I've learned about him, obviously, since the story broke. And the fact that I always say to people, yes, this is not necessarily a foolproof method, But generally, if you don't know anything about someone, but you judge them at least on the caliber of teams that are following him. We can't all be wrong, especially if Liverpool, United, AC Milan are all looking at him as well. Clearly, this is a decent player. But again, what do you guys think? Let me know. Leave it in the comments. Leave it in the chat room. I'll come and check it out in a minute. All right. Didn't really want to talk about this story, but let's talk about this story. Martinez. Yeah. It looks like Aston Villa. Now, this story has kind of switched a couple of times. Supposedly, Villa have already made, which I didn't realize before, Villa have already made a quiet bid for Martinez shortly after the FA Cup final. So obviously we knew about Leeds' interest. We heard briefly about Chelsea's interest in Martinez. Bear in mind, they are obviously on the lookout for a keeper. He's a very good keeper. But then we kind of just assumed that those stories maybe were going away because we heard that him and Ainsley Maitland-Niles were going to sign a new deal. I was more confident at the time, I must admit, about Ainsley Maitland-Niles signing a new deal than Martinez. Because in my mind, if I'm Martinez, I'm like, hold on, I don't even know if I'm number one yet. Wait for the season to start, which I actually think that's what he's doing. Which fair play to him, I can understand that. He wants to see how the first couple of games go. He may not necessarily react after the first game, but if it looks like, oh, you started Leno back-to-back, then I'm out. Who can blame him? So obviously, I always found that the fact that why would he sign a new contract before the season starts? He's asked for reassurance. Unless Arteta flat out said you're number one, I'd be surprised if he signed a new contract. Well, Aston Villa are looking to test Arsenal's resolve, knowing that Arsenal need money. And they are trying to put forward a bid of 20 million for Emiliano Martinez. It's a lot of money. It is a lot of money. Now, you know me. My idea is tell them to fuck off. Straight up. We don't need it. We don't want it. And in my view, he's better than Leno. I'd keep him over Leno. Especially when you think to yourself, the replacement project, the replacement is that damn Brentford keeper. You guys know I don't like the look of him. I could be very wrong, but that playoff final, I weren't impressed. That David Raya, I weren't impressed. Straight up. And I just thought to myself, Brentford are going to want at least 10 million as well for him. And it's just like, in my mind, I'm just sat here thinking, no. But let's be real, 20 million, I think, might tempt Arsenal. I think that would. I think that is a bid that will capture their attention. Because let's face it, none of our players are moving anywhere. And we need money. So, whilst I wouldn't do it, for me, I'd more likely sell Leno. I'd say, forget him. Do you want Leno instead? That would be what I would do. But I think realistically, I'm fully expecting Arsenal to accept any offer in the region of £20 million for Emiliano Martinez. So if I was you guys, I'd brace yourself. Because Villa do have that loose cash sometimes. They don't necessarily spend it well, but they do have that loose cash sometimes. So I say brace yourself. Brace yourself. Let's see what happens. I think that is pretty much it. I just want to double check any other quick story very, very quickly. So yeah, Metro saying it's the second offer. But then there's another paper here saying that it's an inquiry, not an offer. More papers saying that Mikel Arteta wants to sign Partey. Partey is his first. Is his primary target at the moment, which is good to hear. I think it should be. Then more about the swap plan. Oh, talk about Lacazette. Yes, of course. So Alexandre Lacazette, quite frankly, I think is looking for assurances. He's probably seen his name bandied about all summer to do with swap deals and him being in negotiations and Arsenal looking to sell him to raise cash. And apparently it's left him quite unhappy. So much so that he's seeking reassurance from Mikel Arteta. So supposedly him and Arteta, if they haven't already, are planning to have some secret showdown talks to decide his future. It's a tricky one, the Lacazette thing, because you think to yourself, oh, well, that's backup and experienced backup, and, it would be sensible in a way to sell him. And I think a lot of people sensible in a way to keep him. And I think a lot of people, for that reason, view him as, and I can understand, as a bit of a safety net. Because if Aubameyang's not there, then you want to know that there's someone of experience that can potentially get goals and that. I've always been a bit of a risk taker. And I feel like for me personally, I've always said that I'm very much in favour of, bringing in an Edouard and selling a Lacazette, because an Edouard can learn from Aubameyang, learn from him, produce, and be almost a younger version and hopefully a more potent version of a Lacazette. Particularly if you're looking to loan Eddie, which I also don't think is necessarily the worst idea. So I don't know. What do you guys think? He's got 2 years left in his deal. He's 29 years old. I know that went in our member stream yesterday. A lot of the members who came on. Thank you for Carter and basically everybody that came on. Michael and everybody that came on, and obviously Ola. Big shout out to Ola who came on, and and Said as well. And I think the general consensus was, I'll sell him, to be honest. And I can understand that. I can definitely understand that. But I don't know. For some reason, I don't think he'll leave. Even though I wouldn't mind him going, but I don't think he'll leave. What do you guys think? Again, leave it in the comments below. I think that is pretty much it. Let me come into the chat room and see what you lot are saying. 198 people. Wow. Yeah, I am up late. Buster. Too late, brother. Too late. Emily's in the house. I see you, girl. I see you. I hope you're all well. Please do stick a like on the video if you haven't already. Almost 200 people watching, and it is 12:30. I don't know. You lot are mad, but I know not all of you lot are in the UK. So big up to you guys. I hope you're all well. Is there anyone that wants to ask me anything before I bounce? Because I obviously don't want to be on for very, very long. Big up to Mr. Gomez, always showing out. Big brother here. Here we go. Lacazette had a bad season last season. He's a good player. Do you know what? I won't necessarily hate on that comment. I can understand. You know what? If you notice, I don't really argue with people that say they'd keep Lacazette. I totally get it. Just because I disagree doesn't necessarily mean it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard. It's not like, for me, it's not like Granit Xhaka's world class. That type of stupid statement. I feel like it's a perfectly understandable thing for someone to say that, they keep Lacazette because he's got experience. He's a good player. Yes, he didn't score that many goals, but he didn't score that many goals the season before either. He scored more, but he didn't score that many goals the season before either. Name your 8 to go chick. I can't do that, Emily. You know why? You already know why. Because I do chopping blocks. That's what chopping blocks are for. But I'm sure you know already. Again, no one's saying he's shit, but I think sometimes you need to just plan forward. He's 29 years old. He's just had a bit of a poor season. It might be time to just maybe roll the dice and say to yourself, okay, let me take a risk elsewhere. Let me see if there might be another opportunity to bring in potentially someone who can score even more goals. So, yeah. Chig, loving the content as always. Big up, J-Rob. I know you're a silent watcher normally, so thank you for your donation. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. You must make your own list, girl. Show it to me. Show it to me when you do. Yes, Crypto, it makes sense. Lacazzette's not getting any younger. Eddie's just not good enough. Edouard is cheaper and can offer us something that we're missing. That's my view. I told you Sayat was one of the people. Sate. I'm going to call you Sate. No, I keep calling you Sayat. Sate was one of the people on my stream yesterday, so big up to him. And he did say it. He along with the others did say it. Chig, Aussie Goon, I ain't seen you in a bit. Chig, I rate Laka. I have him on the back of my shirt, but he's one of my most valuable assets that we can sell without having issues afterwards. See what I'm saying? That's why I'm on the ropes today, because that to me is a very reasonable deduction. And this is someone who has Lacazette on the shirt. For me, that is a reasonable. If you ask me, let me ask all those people, including Marbles, all those people fighting hard for Lacazette right now, and I don't necessarily blame you for doing so. What would you rather? The safety net of Lacazette or Thomas Partey improving our defense? Because that's what it could come down to. That's what it could come down to. I'd rather take the gamble of bringing in an Edouard and a Partey and selling a Lacazette and hopefully a Bellerin than keeping those two because we're worried about maybe possibly losing something that we'd never really had in the first place. And I like Lacazette, but he's never been this prolific guy that I think you guys think he is. He's not Aubameyang. He works very hard. He's very industrious. He clearly has a good relationship with Aubameyang, but we don't necessarily always see that relationship play out on the pitch. I mean, people overrate that relationship on the pitch. We don't normally see that. Actually, Saka and Aubameyang work best. If you really think about it, they work seamlessly on the pitch. We don't really always see Lacazette and Aubameyang work seamlessly. People, I think, see the celebration and they think, oh, well, they've clearly worked well together. Not really. They don't always play out on the pitch. Ben, you let me down yesterday. You made an appearance in the lobby and then you bounced. Think I don't know. But I'll read your comment anyway. Chig, apparently we have 8 players over the league limit of 25 in the squad. This is a perfect time to get rid of the crap players. I agree. I think we'll see a lot of last-minute loans. I think that's what's going to happen. G to PT. I hope you're well, brother. I ain't seen a lot of you lately, but I hope you're well. Thank you, Tidy. I appreciate that, my guy. I hope you're subscribed, though. I hope you're subscribed. Why you only read? You are definitely new here. You are definitely new here. Because I hope you now feel silly. You're definitely new here. If you think that, you're new here. Thank you, my brother. Thank you, my guy. Oh, you're well. You changed your picture. You're the henchest guy on YouTube. We don't have a choice. 8 have to go. Why on earth does it take so long? Why, babe, you saw how long it took to confirm Willian. So them selling 8 players is going to take an age. Eddie is like Wells with an actual Ghanaian surname. For real. Gets in good positions but can't miss. Sorry, can't finish. Yep. 100%. 100%. Partey, hands down. I just don't agree with the narrative that Lacazette's dead. He just lacked form. I don't think he's dead either. I think he's a decent player. But I personally, I just think It's time to look forward. And Jersey, for me, don't mind this plan either. Don't mind it. This is 2 players I rate. So I also don't mind that plan at all. Believe me. Would love to hear Chig say, you failed me for the last time. Fraser. Man like Fraser. Miss Belina, that's another one I ain't seen in a while. I hope you're well, girl. Let's go through this. Surely Edouard will score what Lacazette did last season. Who has years to improve his skill? Agree with about Saka and Nuno, but it's true, isn't it? It's true. I think people I think are more in love with the idea of having Lacazette and Aubameyang celebrate and do their thing than they actually realize, hold on, Saka and Aubameyang are the ones that actually work well together. Lacazette and Aubameyang, not so much. I'm not saying that they're incompatible, but I think people overrate how much goals they've actually provided each other. But I'm sure someone's going to come up with a stat and maybe prove that wrong. But in my recent memory, I don't remember them working that well together, where just because you part with one, it will affect the other. I don't think so. Yes, please. Listen to the lady. Don't listen to me. Listen to the lady. I love the free signing of Umtiti. I agree with you, bro. I agree with you. Chambers can go as well. If Umtiti came in, I'd be happy for Chambers to go. I hate the idea of keeping Holding over Chambers, though. That would really piss me off, I'll be honest. Definitely new. See what I'm saying? They don't know, bro. They assume I'm like that. They must get me confused with certain people, certain more well-known YouTubers that only focus on super chats. I read everybody's comments. I appreciate the super chats. Don't get it twisted, because at the end of the day, it helps me support the show. But I will never ever insist that for me, you will never hear it out of my mouth that in order for your comment to be read, you have to give a super chat. Never. It will never happen. Never. You're definitely new here if you think that. Yes, please. Mr. Ozzy, big up to you, brother. YouTube randomly gives me notifications for different channel with no consistency because there's so much Arsenal content, it's hard to keep up with it all myself. YouTube, can I just say, I know you watch these from time to time because you're supposed to. I didn't tell him to do that. Because every time I bring this up to YouTube, they act like I'm talking crap. So hopefully they can see it with their own eyes. Notification game is poor, bro. Chig, say you love Mesut Ozil. Never. 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 I love something to boobies. My other half loves that name, Umtiti. All right, guys. I'm going to do 5 more minutes and I'm out of here, yeah? 5 more minutes. Big up, Crow. I hope you're well. Chig, where do you think Arsenal will finish? As things stand, 6th. As things stand. You get a Partey, confidently 6th, at least, maybe 5th. You get an Aouar, outside challenges for 4th. Let's face it, a lot of things are going to have to go our way. A lot of things are going to have to go our way. But just because this is what I'm trying to tell you, those guys, though. Just because I think that, don't mean the players should think that. Go for it. Aim for the first. Aim for first. But if you had to ask me honestly, where do I think we'll, as things stand, if by some miracle we get Aouar, and I don't think Aouar will happen. I've said that to you guys yesterday. Outside challenges for 4th? If we get Partey, confidently 6th, maybe 5th. If we replace Lacazette with Edouard, I think we could get 4th. And I know people will find that unbelievable. If you had to ask me honestly, in an Arsenal team, who do I think scores more, Lacazette or Edouard? I've got a feeling Edouard does. I think it'll be hungrier. It's a bigger team. He's French, so you know he's probably got some sort of secret love for Arsenal, really. It could be what we're missing up top. Because let's face it, that left-hand wing is Aubameyang's. As much as I would love it to be Saka's, it's Aubameyang's. It is what it is. So we need someone equally as sharp leading the line. It's not Eddie Nketiah. And as much as I don't think Lacazette is a terrible player, I'm sorry, guys, it's not Lacazette either. Yes, we do have Martinelli, but Martinelli is also out until the end of the year. I think people forget that. I mean, had a horrible injury. He's out until the end of the year. We need to start the season well. And I don't know if you've seen our October fixture list. It's not great. So yeah, we'll see what happens. 3 more minutes, guys. Come on, bombard me your questions quickly. 3 more minutes. By the way, thank you, Ozzy, for your donation. I don't know if I said that before. Very generous. I appreciate that, bro. Thank you. Edouard will be more hungry for goals. Lacazette has lost his hunger to find the net. For sure, he will make the difference. And you know what, Samuel? Let me say this ahead of time before someone watches the stream and goes, and say he moves to Atletico Madrid or Juventus. So see, he's not finished. I actually think he needs to move to prove to himself that he can be that guy. And I think potentially Italy or Spain, I think more Italy than Spain, would suit him. I do. I think Partey is looking more likely than Aouar, bro. I think you joined me late. To find out why, rewind. It's the first story I talk about. But I think Partey is looking much more likely than Aouar. Lacazette came to London for the birds, not to get. And the balloons. You forget the balloons. Allegedly. I think Willian will outscore Laka. Interesting. Chig, will Overeem get a title? What's your opinion? Evan, you are never in our combat show chat room because I would love to talk to you about this over there. We'll cover it, I promise, this Friday. This Friday, definitely come to the combat show chat room and we'll talk about it. Chig, who is your favorite? I'm going to order a kit with Chig on a back number. Don't be crazy. Don't be crazy. But if I was going to get somebody's number, I would get number 5 in the hope that Partey takes it. You're gosh damn right. I'd get number 5, straight up. But you're taking a big risk because you could look foolish if Socrates don't go anywhere. I'm allegedly smoking weed right now. Then allegedly enjoy yourself, Ozzy Guna. Chig, if Lacazette left Arsenal, who would you replace him with? Edouard, Moussa Dembele. Those would be my main 2, to be honest. 40 million for I don't think it will be 40 million. I don't think he'll be 25 either, but I think for 30 million, Celt would be crazy to turn that down. In fact, one of the rumors, Big Celt, was that Celtic want to offer Edouard a new contract, which within that contract, there'll be a release clause for £40 million. Number 5 with Chig on the back. Don't do it, brother. Don't do it. Don't do it. I got a new away kit with Tierney, 3 less. Okay. Go on, Ozzy. Ozzy. Number 5 to 1. Listen, I'm telling him not to do it. So if he does it, if DJ Crane does it, that's on his head. But see, that would be the number I would get. The problem is I would wait for a Partey to come before I did it. That's what I would say to you. Bodu from AZ. I knew there was someone from the Dutch league that I was forgetting, bro. So yeah, maybe it's him. I didn't remember what his name was, truth be told. Thank you, Scott. I appreciate that, bro. And people saying, I only talk to people who donate. Don't know me. You clearly don't know me, bro. Imagine Edward, imagine Uber, Edward, Pepe, Saka right behind us at number 10, Ceballos, Partey. Sheesh. That's why I wouldn't be heartbroken if Awar doesn't come. Now, of course, if Awar comes, imagine him added to that team. So yes, that team is serious. We're not buying Edouard, mate. I don't think so either, but I'm being asked a question, Odan. But thank you for that. Thank you for your donation, brother. I appreciate that, my guy. No comment, no nothing. But thank you. Thank you, guy. Smash the likes, yes, please. I love chatting to you guys when you're cool like this. I love it. Hi, Chig. I hope you're well and safe. Do you think Barcelona will get Winnie and Memphis Depay? I'm going to miss Luis Suarez, legend. Of course, yeah, you're a Barca fan, aren't you? I always forget that. Mr. Castillo. You should have got him in 2013. Doug was started. And thank you for the nice... I need a shave to go with it. The shave will make it feel like I've had a haircut. But yes, thank you, brother. I appreciate it. I think you'll get Depay. Whether that will be a good signing or not is another debate. But I think you'll get Depay. Genie, I think, will be harder. I've got a feeling he will reject you lot to stay at Liverpool, to be honest. But time will tell, I guess. Because Genie doesn't start every game for Liverpool, does he? So time will tell. My guy, look at this, my guy. This is why when people ask me, how do you become a mod? Do this kind of stuff that Diego does every single time he's about. Mind you, he's a Palace fan. Come on, my guy. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that. My dog. My dog. Optimistic is Arsenal's transfer dealings. Theoretical is Arsenal's transfer dealings. Dick teasing is Arsenal's transfer dealings. I knew someone was missing. Elliot in the house. Great show. Partey seems closer. Hope he didn't get big dicked out of what. We'll get big dicked out of the war. Trust me on that one. I noticed you lot seem to like that big dick expression that I was going on about yesterday. Tell you what, that might be my t-shirt. That might be my t-shirt. Don't get big dicked out of a situation. Chig, will you put a link to the combat show in here in the chat? Because I can never find it. I'm sure I can. Bro, it's in the description. You telling me you can't get that link in the description? Tell me if you can get it in the description. If you can't, let me know and I'll put the link in, of course. But it's in the description. It's always in the description. I always put it in there. So I know I've got a big description, but if you just expand it, every social media link, every link to a YouTube channel, I've even got people, even telling people to go to Lee's channel to subscribe to it. I've got everything referenced in that description. So let me know. Next season we'll win the Europa League next season. I hope so. I hope so. Chig, you look happy. Very strange. Do I? And is that a bad thing? I think I'm happy because it's the longest time I've not coughed. Like this horrible cough all day. No, I don't think it's COVID. Hopefully not. By the grace of God. The link in the description works. Tested them all. There you go. I found it. It's too late, man. I have to allow the stupid. Don't worry, Evan. Don't worry. See, just as I say that, player which could break through next season. For me, Serjan in Cam, Akayabi, Oyoko, right back. Yes, I know I'm dumb. I can't read a Nigerian name. And Aziz, a central midfield. I think everyone is expecting something out of Aziz. This guy who you've named, who I can't say the name of because I'm an idiot, Ayeko. I'm an idiot. I'm too late. That's what it is. I know he's an Arsenal player though. You know what's worse about this? I retweeted it myself because he showed some really good prowess. He signed a new contract and he has some big ambitions. He wants to break into that first team, as I'm sure they all do. But he was talking that talk, so I thought, okay, brother, I see you. So we'll see what happens there. O ye go K. O ye go K. There you go. Thank you. Appreciate it. Don't take the piss because I can't read names. Evan, don't apologize. It allows you to plug it for others. And Ozzy gets it. Ozzy, first of all, why are you not a member? Do you know why I'm asking that? So that if you become a member, all right, someone say, oh, Chief, you're trying to get money. Forget that. I actually want you to come on the panel. Come on and have a show with me. You are someone that clearly is very sharp. Become a member so I can at least have you do the shows and come on and have a stream with me, man. Because you're sharp. You get it. Elliot, who do you think will be our first major departure this summer? I'm trying not to mention Hector Bellerin because I think I'll jinx it. Depends what you see as a major departure. Maybe Lacazette, maybe. I'm hoping it's Hector, but I don't want to jinx it. I don't want to jinx it. I'm trying not to jinx it. Samir, very unconfident. That's not what I want to hear either. Arsenal's not ready to pay out the buyout clause on Partey. Why do you think this is so? Bro, good question. Because I'm convinced they can scrape something together for Partey. I'm convinced. But they're not doing so. I don't know why. Maybe they quietly feel like they'll bully Atletico Madrid into accepting something lower. Because like I said earlier, it's now getting to the point where you've offered Partey a new contract. He's flat out said no. So from their point of view, they now have to plan moving forward. You've got Roca there, who's just sitting there in a relegated Espanyol side. Now, I think it will take 15 to 20 million for them to part with Roca. They need that cash. So can they really reject 35 million just for the sake of being spiteful? I don't know. Maybe Arsenal know that. Maybe they're trying to play chicken. I don't know. I love your name, by the way, because it's my sister's middle name. I have never, ever rated him. Never, ever rated him. I've never rated him. I'll be honest. He showed some potential when he was young. I think when he was 19, 20, I thought he might go on to beat something. And for me, I think his development has stalled. And I think he now gets by off the fact that, he talks. I don't know if you've ever heard him talk. He talks like a Londoner. And I think a lot of fans give him that buy because of it. I think he also got by on the fact that he had pace, because all football fans like pace. But ultimately, when you take that pace away, what does he do? He doesn't defend. He can't really defend. He can't really cross. Some people say, all right, well, Hakimi can't cross. Cool. Hakimi got something dumb like 10 assists, 11 assists last year. And he is another one that can't really defend. But let me tell you something. Most of us would have had Hakimi over Hector Bellerin. That's what Hector Bellerin should have been. Mind you, Hakimi is 4 years younger than him. You see what I'm saying? There are levels to this thing sometimes. Well, all the time, really. All right, one more question, because I've done some serious overtime for you guys. I said I was going to go 15 minutes ago. Don't think I didn't notice that. I think it's better now that Gabriel is in there. This is why I like the idea of having Umtiti if he's free. I like the idea of having it. Yes, I can't wait for that. Sorry, I've just seen season 2 of Criminal showing on my Netflix. I can't wait for that to drop. But yeah, I've lost my way now completely. Just saw that in the corner of my eye. I was like, yes, come on. Yeah, I think it's improved. But I think getting Umtiti there, I think that would really... I think most people would be all right with that. I think most people would see the logic of that. Because also, he's 26 as well. He's 26. My guy. You didn't answer my question, though, Ozzy. Become a member, brother. Become a member. You won't regret it. At some point, I'm going to try and bribe Buster Cherry to come on and have a stream with me and probably annoy most of the people on there. But I'm going to love that. I'm going to love... Sometimes it's good to hear something that you don't agree with. So I'm going to try and get Buster on there. I'm going to try and kidnap Ben and make him go on there. Sorry I couldn't get here from the start. Where you end, I'll restart the vid. Dante, my guy. One more question. Thank you, my brother. I appreciate that. Thank you. One more question and I'm out of here, guys. One more question. Do you know what? Let's end with this. Say, you're absolutely right. You are absolutely right. I think the love fest for Xhaka is very annoying and embarrassing. You know what? For me, here's the thing with Granit Xhaka. He has shown, even I have to accept, he's shown a decent level of consistency since Arteta came in. Instead of now just being completely useless, he's showing a certain level of averageness. I think you have to accept that. You just have to accept that for what it is. But I also think that people overrate it. Like, my man did one inside-out pass, and it was a fantastic pass. But at the end of the day, A, I don't give 2 shits what he does for Switzerland, and B, all right, cool. What else did you do, though? Because this was the only highlight I kept seeing. Now, people assure me that he was amazing against Germany. All right, fantastic. Mohamed Elneny was good against Liverpool. Does that mean we want to keep Mohamed Elneny? Does that mean Mohamed Elneny is class? Do you know what I mean? It's just people need to give up this Granit Xhaka train. It was an experiment. It was a thing that I could see why Wenger, in some ways, I can't really, but I'm going to try and humor myself. I can see why Wenger, in some ways, thought that maybe the Granit Xhaka thing would be a safer bet than the Kante thing because, it's a little bit more stylish. He's got that wand of a left foot. and maybe he might be able to contribute more. And I think, to me, in a lot of ways, that's where we suffered in midfield, because we're looking for a jack of all trades instead of just a master, someone who just cleans up that midfield and just does a good job of doing that, and that can pass the ball. That's all I want, just as a basic. I don't want someone that could do a Cruyff turn and, be Pirlo and be Vieira and be Gilberto all at once. That's a lot of the reason why, if you want me to be honest, very ironically, and I would have said this at the time to you guys, and I know this is controversial as I say it, but I don't give a two shits. I always thought Mikel Arteta was a good player prior to coming to Arsenal. I did. But one thing I never understood was Wenger's idea that he could go from being a central midfielder where he was influencing play to being a defensive one. I never understood it. I never understood the logic. And for me, he ended up ruining him as a player. He was never the same. He was never the same. So, I don't know. It is what it is. He's decent. Does he start in the team that I envisage moving forward? No. Not at all. Not if I had my way. But we'll see what happens. It is what it is. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, my guy. I hope you're subscribed, because that is a new name. I've not seen that before. So thank you, brother. And Ozzy, I saw your comment earlier. I've got lots of people from New Zealand and Australia that watch, and that's deliberately why I try and do member streams quite late. So around 10, 11, I try and do them. So make sure you catch the next one. I know yesterday I did it a bit earlier, but yeah, I try and do it late just so I catch you guys. So don't fret with that. Become a member. Got to have you on at some point. All right, my guys, I am out of here. In the meantime, please enjoy your night, your day, your evening. I will be back a little bit earlier with Eagle Eye tomorrow. I'm going to try and aim for about 7 tomorrow. And hopefully we've seen some progress. Quite frankly, at this point, I'll take a sale or a buy. Just something. Arsenal, do something. That's all I want. Do something. Anything at this point. Anyway, it is what it is, guys. I'm out of here. Enjoy your Monday. Take care.